Hello. Did you know that this is the first day of National Library Week? So I'm wearing my Providence Community Library shirt with the logo at the bottom. Everybody who works at the library posted their pictures online, so we're going to be sharing them somehow, probably on our website and social media. So take a look. We all look wonderful in red. So I'm Miss Carla. We're going to keep reading Lety Out Loud. In fact, this should be our last installment. We're just about through. It's by Angela Cervantes. You may have heard her name before. She's written quite a few books. Oh, look. This is a picture of her. You know, usually in books, there's a little, in the flaps, there's the summary of the book on the front flap and then information about the author on the back flap. But Angela Cervantes has written a few other books. At the front of this book, it tells us she's written a book called Gabby Lost and Found. I think that might be the Gabby in the story that they keep talking about. I have a feeling those are related. She's written one called Allie First and Last. No, Allie First at Last. And then a book called Me, Frida, and the Secret of the Peacock Ring. Sounds interesting. All right, let's read the last little bit. We've only got a little over 20 pages left. We are on page 175, chapter 26, We Go High. I would like to mention, I was thinking it's funny last week that they are reading to the animals in this book because they're sitting and reading to the cats and the dogs, because when I read, pretty much every day when I read to you all, my cats like to come and sit next to me and listen while I read. So I think it's true that pets like to be read to. I think they just like hearing my voice. The man in the red baseball hat was long gone. Lety sat in the reception area between Brisa and Hunter. Dr. Villalobos hovered over them, worried about how quiet Lety had become. Spike sat on her lap and licked her folded hands. Are you okay, Lety? Dr. Villalobos asked her for the third time that morning, after Hunter had told everyone what transpired in the Bow Wow zone. You're not mad that I couldn't catch him, are you? Hunter asked. Lety shook her head and then giggled, imagining Hunter demanding an apology from the man outside in the parking lot. I cannot believe you chased him, Brisa said. All the way out to the parking lot, Dr. Villalobos added. That guy was in his car, and I spotted Hunter out there waving his arms trying to get him to stop. Brisa laughed. Estás loco, Hunter. I know what that means, and I guess it does seem a little crazy. I just wanted to say something to him. I don't know why. Does it make me crazy? It makes you a good friend, Lety said. If there was ever anything bad between them, she knew now it was 100% gone. It felt good. I'm very proud of you girls, Dr. Villalobos said. You could have really gone off on that guy. I know you wanted to, but instead you took the higher road. When they go low, we go high, Brisa said. It's my favorite English expression. Lety stared down at Spike and gave him a few gentle strokes. You're awfully quiet, Lety, Dr. Villalobos said. What are you thinking about? Lety wasn't sure what she should say, but Brisa gave her a gentle nudge. I thought I'd never want to see that man again, but I'm glad that we did. Why? Hunter asked. After all of his yelling and bullying at the store, I'm glad that he knows that none of that stopped us. We didn't run and hide. We didn't lower our eyes to him. His words didn't stop us from living and doing what we love. Now he knows. It almost stopped me, Brisa said. If it wasn't for the reading program, I wouldn't have come back to the shelter. But you're back now, said Dr. Villalobos. That's what matters. Brisa hugged Lety and Spike joined in. licking them both on their happy faces until an older couple walked in. One of the men held a paper in his hand. Spike greeted them with a friendly bark. "Welcome. Can I help you?" Dr. Villalobos asked. "We would like to adopt this precious cat, Lorca," the man said, dipping down to pet Spike, then handing the printout to Dr. V. "We loved his online profile, and we've been looking for a cat to join our family." "Lorca is a great cat," Brisa said. Dr. Villalobos quickly escorted them toward the feline friend's room. As he opened the door, he flashed thumbs up to Lety. Letty's heart pounded with joy. Lorca was finally going to have a family. "You did it," Hunter said. "I told you your profiles were awesome. Maybe you can help me with Riley's?" Hunter pulled out a piece of notebook paper and pen from his back jeans pocket. "Don't forget to add that he likes books about sharks," Brisa said. Lety read through the profile. It was perfect as it was. She rearranged a few sentences to slip in Brisa's book recommendation, but that's all. She passed it back to Hunter. He read through it. Riley. "It was a wintry day when the rescue team found me. I was brought into the shelter and needed surgery. Sadly, my back left leg was so damaged it had to be amputated. Now I'm a healthy and playful 7-month-old husky with only 3 legs. Still, it doesn't slow me down. When I'm not playing fetch, I enjoy a good book about sharks, because sharks never stop moving, and neither do I. Want to play? Visit me at Furry Friends Animal Shelter today." "Much better," he said. Later that morning, Lety and Hunter kissed Lorca goodbye and headed to the food pantry to finish food bags for the Wags and Whiskers Community Fest. Spike followed them. In between scoops, Hunter and Lety would toss a beef kibble, sending Spike leaping into the air to catch it in his mouth. "I really like what you said about standing up to that man and how it made you feel," Hunter said. He stopped scooping and watched Spike for a long time. Lety wondered if he was thinking about standing up to his father for giving away Gunner. "I want to feel like that too. This whole Gunner thing is in my head. I'm just so mad about it." "I don't blame you," Lety said. "Even if I did get Gunner back, that doesn't change things with my dad, you know," Hunter said, his voice losing its softness and sounding deeper than she's ever noticed before. "I understand," she said. "He purposely tried to hurt me by giving Gunner away. The truth is, he hurt himself, because now I don't trust him. My little brothers don't either. My mom won't take him back. She says she's done." "What does your grandma say?" "She says we need time, and that someday we will have to forgive him." "I don't know about that." "And Gunner? Is she coming back?" Hunter shook his head. "I told Dr. Villalobos," Hunter started to explain, drifting into the soft voice that Lety liked so much. "I can't take Gunner away from that family. It just wouldn't feel right." Lety looked at Hunter, clutching a scooper full of pet food. He met her gaze. "Are you sure, Hunter?" she asked. "She's been your dog since you were 5. Lety couldn't believe he had made such a hard decision. She wasn't so sure she'd make the same one. Hunter threw another kibble to Spike, who leaped for it. "I wish there were more boys like you," Lety said after a few seconds of silence between them. "More boys like you means less men like the one that bullied us at the store." "And less guys like my dad," Hunter added. "I'm not going to be like either of them." Both of them quietly returned to scooping, determined to finish their punishment, which no longer felt like punishment to them. Chapter 27, Wags and Whiskers. A bright yellow banner touting Wags and Whiskers Community Fest wafted high between 2 oak trees outside the animal shelter. As families streamed onto the shelter grounds, Lety and the other summer campers spread out, helping at various stations. Hunter and Mario were at the pet food pantry table with the coordinator and other volunteers. They handed out bags of pet food that the kids had assembled over the last few weeks. Kennedy was with the cat heroes, showing families how to make their own affordable cat toys at home. Lety and Brisa were with Alma, accepting book and blanket donations for the Reading Fur Friends program. They also signed up new readers for the program. In just an hour, 10 new readers signed up to help out on Saturday mornings, and a pile of new books had been donated. Mrs. Camacho arrived with her husband, looking to adopt a third cat to join their other 2 rescue cats. Brisa's parents arrived with Lety's family. Eddie raced up to Lety with her parents trailing behind them. It was a rare treat that her father had Saturday off, and she was anxious to show him all around the shelter, especially because she wanted him to meet Spike. "Summer heroes! Time for the group picture!" Dr. Villalobos yelled into a bullhorn. "Go ahead," Alma said to Lety and Brisa. "Dr. Villalobos loves group pictures. I can watch the table." Brisa and Lety rushed to where the campers gathered on the grass between the trees. Hunter and Mario joined Brisa, Lety, and Kennedy. As parents snapped and clicked shot after shot, Kennedy's mom was guiding Lety's and Brisa's moms over to meet some of the other parents. It made Lety feel so good that their moms were finally brave enough to talk to other parents, and that the other parents were talking to them too. "Attention! May I have your attention, campers?" Dr. Villalobos shouted over the kids talking. "Before we continue with today's activities, I have an important announcement." The kids settled down. "This has been one of the best camps we've ever had, and it's because we had some really phenomenal participants," Dr. Villalobos said. "One summer hero in particular stood out. She started a new program here that I believe will help lots of animals and kids in our city." Every camper turned to Lety. "He's talking about you," Hunter whispered. Lety blushed. "Lety Munoz, will you come here and stand with me?" Everyone started to applaud as Lety walked over to Dr. Villalobos. Hunter shouted a few woos, and Kennedy and Brisa whistled. Lety was joined by her parents and Eddie. "What's going on?" Eddie asked. "Are we going to get ice cream?" "I don't know," Lety said, feeling suddenly nervous at being the center of attention. "We are so thankful for everything you've done at Furry Friends Animal Shelter, Lety," Dr. Villalobos said. "I've already spoken to your parents about your amazing work, and they agreed that you deserve something special." "We're going to get ice cream!" Eddie shouted. Dr. Villalobos gestured behind them. Lety turned around. Walking toward her was Alma, holding Spike on a leash. "Do we get a dog?" Eddie yelled excitedly and jumped up and down. "Whoa, so much cooler than ice cream!" Lety couldn't believe her eyes. Was Alma adopting Spike? Or was she bringing Spike to her? Lety still wasn't sure. "Lety, I can't think of a better person to adopt Spike," Alma said. "He's all yours." She passed the leash to Lety and gave her a hug. "Thank you," Lety gushed. Her parents huddled closer to her and gave her kisses on her cheek. "Are you sure, Dr. Villalobos? We meet all of your strict qualifications?" "Absolutely," Dr. Villalobos smiled. "You've proven to me over and over that you don't give up. When you weren't sure you could write animal profiles, you wrote your heart out. When your friend Brisa quit the camp, you found a way to bring her back. When Hunter lost his dog, it was your idea to talk to..." Lety swooped Spike up into her arms and gave him a smooch on his muzzle. "I'll never give up on him," she said. She couldn't believe Spike was hers. "Gracias, Papa! Gracias, Mamita!" Lety cried. All of the kids gathered around Lety to congratulate her. Hunter gave Spike a kiss on his head. "Since I don't have a dog anymore, I'd be happy to help you with Spike, you know," Hunter said, giving Spike a good scratch behind his ears. "I can walk him with you and read to him if you want," he continued. "Thank you, Hunter," Lety said. "Spike and I would like that." "Group picture!" Dr. Villalobos roared again. The kids gathered around Lety with Spike in her arms and snapped more shots. As cameras clicked away, a family entered through the gate of the shelter's back lawn. A boy held a large white dog on a leash. Lety had seen this dog before. It looked just like Sawyer, but it wasn't. That's when it hit her. "Hunter!" Lety yelled, but he had already seen them and was bolting toward the dog. "Gunner! Gunner!" Chapter 28. Shelter Scribe Saves the Day. Gunner, this is my friend Lety, Hunter said, in between Gunner's excited licks. Shake hands, girls, shake hands. The white, fluffy Great Pyrenees held up a paw and Lety shook it. Wow, she still knows everything I taught her. He directed a gaze back at his grandma. She nodded and wiped her eyes with a tissue. You taught her well, baby, she said. Hunter's younger brothers kept their arms flung around Gunner protectively, as if afraid to let her go. Gunner wailed excitedly and licked them all over their faces. She's super smart, just like you said, Lety said. More campers began to gather around to see what was going on. She missed you. She's so cute, Brisa squealed, running her hands through Gunner's fur. Gunner turned over on her back and exposed her belly, which made the kids laugh some more. She wants her belly rubbed, Kennedy cried. Please tell me you get to keep her. We get to keep her forever, right, Hunter? Asked one of Hunter's brothers. I think so, Hunter said, looking off towards where Dr. Villalobos was talking to the family that had brought Gunner. The older boy pulled out a folded piece of paper from his back jeans pocket and showed it to Dr. Villalobos. Dr. V excitedly gestured toward Lety. Soon the family and Dr. Villalobos were walking toward them. Please let it be good news, Brisa said, crossing her fingers. Hey, I want to introduce everyone to the Salazar family. They came all the way from Wichita to meet Hunter, said Dr. Villalobos, in a voice that made Lety's heart flip. It was Dr. V's excited voice, the same voice he used when he spoke about Spike on the first day, the same tone he used when he said he liked the reading for a friend's idea. A young man stepped forward, holding a folded piece of paper in his hands. Hi guys, I'm James. My family and I thought you should know why we came today, he said. 2 weeks ago, we adopted Gunner from an animal shelter. It was what my mom calls love at first sight. But as soon as we got Gunner home, she'd cry every night. We tried leaving the light on for her. We gave her extra treats. My mom and dad even let her sleep on their bed with them, even though she insisted on hugging their pillows. Everyone laughed. Nothing would stop her crying at night. We wondered if she was missing something, like a favorite toy or stuffed animal. Soon, we discovered that Gunner wasn't missing something, she was missing someone. She was missing you, Hunter. You and your family. Hunter sniffled, and Lety quickly patted his back. We received a phone call from the shelter director explaining your story. Then we received Gunner's profile. Profile? Hunter looked confused. James unfolded the piece of paper he held in his hand and read it out loud. Gunner. When I was a 4-month-old pup, I was a birthday gift for a little boy named Hunter. The little boy said I looked like a baby white bear. I slept in his bed every night of his life until a few weeks ago when suddenly he was gone and I was alone. Before we were separated, Hunter used to read to me at night. I would choose a book from the shelf and take it to him in my mouth. Hunter would read it in his soft voice that warmed me like a favorite blanket. At night, my doggy dreams were filled with Hunter and me chasing dragons, building rocket blasters, and playing fetch until the cerise sunset sent us back to our beds. I miss my boy Hunter, and I know he misses me. Lety let out a soft smile in recognition. Hunter glanced over at her with moist eyes. You? He asked. Lety responded with an "it was the least I could do" shrug. Oh, Lety, Kennedy cried. That was the best one yet. Lety had written Gunner's profile after Hunter had told her he was giving up on getting her back. In her heart, Lety knew she had to do something. So she wrote the profile and gave it to Dr. Villalobos to share. He had been more than happy to send it to the Salazar family. Thank you, Lety, Hunter said with wet eyes. It's true, you never give up. James looked away from the profile toward Gunner and Hunter's little brothers. As soon as we read the profile, we knew what we had to do. Now that I see Gunner with you guys, I know we made the right decision. Thank you so much, Hunter beamed. He stood up quick and hugged James and the entire Salazar family. "This means so much to us, you don't even know." "Thank you with all our hearts," Hunter's grandma said, rushing to embrace the family too. Once all the hugs were over, Dr. Villalobos guided the Salazar family across the lawn to meet a few of the other shelter dogs. Letty's family walked over to her with Spike on a blue leash. She still couldn't believe how amazing the day had turned out. Hunter slipped in next to her. "Can I meet your parents?" "Okay, but they don't speak a lot of English." As they approached, Letty gestured toward Hunter, ready to make an introduction, but Hunter launched into Spanish. "Señora y señor Muñoz, mi nombre es Hunter. Yo soy un amigo de Letty," Hunter said, introducing himself as Letty's friend. Letty giggled. "Yo quiero dar gracias a ustedes porque Letty es muy simpática." "Is that right, Letty?" "Yes, I'm very nice," she said. Letty and Brisa laughed. Usually they were the ones pestering people if they said something right or wrong in English. It was fun to see Hunter making an attempt in Spanish. "He's turning all red," Eddie laughed and pointed at Hunter. Brisa quickly put her hands over Eddie's mouth, which made him laugh more. "Sin ella," Hunter continued. "Nunca, sorry, I mean, without her, my dog would never have been returned to me. I didn't practice this last part because I didn't know." "I can translate," Eddie jumped in quickly rattled off Hunter's final words in Spanish to his parents. When he was done, they beamed with pride. "You are welcome," Letty's mom and dad said together. "We both have dogs, Hunter," Letty said. "Maybe we can go to the dog park together," Hunter said. "What do you think? I think Spike and Gunner would get along." Before Letty could answer, he pointed across the lawn. "Check it out," he said. The two Salazar boys were petting Riley, the three-legged husky pup. "I think Riley is heading to Wichita." Letty wondered if hearts could explode from so much joy as she watched Riley show off all his best tricks. He rolled over, picked up a stick with his mouth, and dropped it at James's feet. Riley sat up on 3 legs and tilted his head at them. Letty knew that adorable pose meant, "Don't you want to take me home?" She hoped with all her heart that the kind Salazar family answered yes. Chapter 29. Everyone is invited. The next day, the girls were at Kennedy's pool with Eddie and Spike. Hunter and Mario were each sprawled out on an inflatable donut in the pool, while Gunner took shade under a large umbrella. "Are you guys coming to my birthday party?" Mario yelled to Letty and Brisa, who relaxed on lounge chairs. The girls had just received the invitation yesterday for Mario's pizza party. "Are Ghazi, Aziza, and Myra invited too?" Brisa asked. "I won't go if they're not invited also," Letty said. "I invited everyone," Mario said. "Sheesh, I even invited Kennedy, who hates my guts." Letty and Brisa laughed and looked over at Kennedy, sunbathing on a lounge chair. "I'm not here to hate," Kennedy said, pulling off her sunglasses. "I only celebrate." "Alert! Alert! I think Spike wants to jump in," Hunter said. Letty scanned the pool area to find Spike pacing the edge of the pool like he was longing to swim. "Don't you dare, Spike!" Kennedy yelled. "Letty, please stop him." "Come on, boy, jump!" Eddie said from the water. "He wants to swim. Let him swim." "No dogs in the pool! No dogs in the pool!" Kennedy screamed just as Spike bounded into the pool. "Oh my, we're going to get kicked out." Kennedy sat up, watching with panic as Spike dog-paddled across the pool toward Eddie. Letty jumped up to grab him from the pool, but before she could, there was another blast of water. "Gunner, no!" yelled Kennedy. Gunner had dived in too, splashing water in every direction. "It's a pool party!" Mario yelled. "Get it?" "Sorry, Kennedy," Hunter apologized from the water. "My mom is going to get a call from the HOA tonight," Kennedy said. We'll be banned from the pool for the rest of the summer. I know it. Sorry, Kennedy, Lety said. I got them, Hunter yelled, dog paddling next to Spike and Gunner. Lo siento, Kennedy, Eddie shouted from the pool. Hey, if you can't beat them, join them, right? Lety said, taking Kennedy's hand and leading her to the edge of the pool. Lety grasped Brisa's hand, too. That's a silly expression, Kennedy said. At the count of 3, Lety said. Ready? 1, Brisa shouted. 2, Lety screamed. 3, Kennedy squealed. The 3 girls jumped into the pool, making a larger splash than Gunner. When Lety came up for air, Gunner had a ball in her mouth, and everyone was chasing her around the pool. Lety glanced around for Spike. He was already outside of the pool, dripping wet and waiting at the edge for her. She swam to him. Are you looking for me? She asked. Spike let out an excited whine. I love you, and I'll never give up on you, Spike, she said before diving back down into the clear blue water. From above, she could hear Spike barking. She knew it was his way of saying, I'll never give up on you, Lety. That's the end of the book. We read the whole thing. That's 2 books from the grades 3 through 5 nominees for the Rhode Island Latino Books Month Award. Tomorrow, I will start reading Sarai Saves the Music, which I am sure I have here somewhere, but I gotta find it because I looked for it earlier and I couldn't find it. So I'll find it, and then we'll start reading that tomorrow. I hope you have a good day. Bye.